Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Shante, and we got married in April this year. And planning our wedding was extremely exciting and enjoyable, but it was also extremely stressful. At the beginning of the planning process, when we were looking for a photographer and a celebrant, we came up against many challenges with unflexible people who weren't willing to work with us because our son has special needs and we needed someone who was going to be flexible just in case something happened, which fortunately it didn't, which was great. I also found it difficult to find a makeup artist that supplied cruelty-free products because that was important to me, and fortunately the photographer that we did hire did know somebody. And I also found it difficult to find a florist that would put in some effort into finding some native flowers, which is what I wanted for my wedding bouquet, which wasn't the standard flowers that you would associate with weddings. And through that process we found a florist that was willing to help us out, and we had a few difficulties, but we found it enjoyable organising the reception. You know, you're supposed to put in here.
Cake shopping, when we went cake shopping, we found a place in Malaya which was really good. So some really good cakes, nice designs, happy to help us with our inquiries. But unfortunately on the day when we went to pick up the cake, they misplaced our cake and made me half an hour late, which broke routine of the groom, as the bride being late for the wedding. It was the groom late for the half an hour late for the wedding. So yes, that was unexplained and wasn't a good enough experience for us. So yeah.
We believe our budget was realistic in hindsight. We had a budget of 11,000. We were on a very tight budget. We had to stick to budget. We didn't have much room to play around due to financial circumstances.
So basically we sat down in regards to guests, we sat down and had to really fine dine the family list, and we only really could invite really close friends and family.
We also called in a number of favours. We called in favours in regards to a car. Unfortunately, that also went wrong, as the people who were supposed to do it, the people that we were supposed to do it ended up cancelling a few days before the wedding. Luckily, we had a friend who had a nice car that was willing to put in and help us out. We also had a friend help out with the DJing and the MCing of the wedding. She does this as a business of her own, and she gave us a discount. With our photographer, we found her to be brilliant because we got a wedding expo. I went to many wedding expos, which is all part of the planning process that you'll all be going through shortly, to find photographers, suppliers, etc. And I was contacted by the photographer and we sat down and we worked out a price. In that package we got albums, we've got all our wedding photos, we got a photo booth, and because we were on a tight budget, we couldn't afford videography, which is something that we would have liked. So instead of that, we had a stop motion animation done, and which was paid off in instalments after the wedding. Lots of things went wrong.
Where do we start? I got a massive nosebleed after shaving. It wouldn't stop. It kept bleeding. I thought I was going to die from all this blood coming out. No, not really. Then we had the unfortunate of the cake going missing, and that took us another half an hour to so that broke routine, as I said before. I was actually the groom being late for the wedding, not the bride. The bride was extremely early to the wedding, which makes a change for you guys out there. Then we had problems with the groom being all stressed out, being me. Having to have a shot of scotch to calm myself down. Good on you guys. And then we had music malfunction, which was DIY music. That luckily the MC that we had there helped us out with that.
When I arrived to my destination and got out of the car, I had a chocolate stain on my dress. Luckily there was enough older women to know what to do and plenty of soda water. When I arrived at the destination where we got married, I got a text message from the photographer who was setting up at the time at 11 o'clock when we were supposed to get married and I was supposed to walk down the aisle. Only 2 guests out of 29 had actually rocked up. So I would have walked down the aisle to 2 guests. So I reiterate, make sure you keep your phone switched on just before you walk down the aisle, because things like that would have just been disastrous. We found that a lot of the guests, because I had gotten there early due to circumstances, were waiting to have a sneak peek at my dress instead of actually going to where the wedding venue was. Due to this mystery stain that came up on the back of my dress, which we think was chocolate in the car,
Chocolate.
I would advise brides to talk to their dressmaker or talk to the people where you get the dress from about how to get certain stains out and what would work on your fabric, what wouldn't work on your fabric, because if it wasn't for some ladies who knew about fabrics at the wedding, that stain would have been there, or I may have wrecked the dress completely by using the wrong method of getting the stain off. Okay, one of our other things that went wrong, or our main issues even with the planning, was
my family, like side of the family, had disagreements and they couldn't do the right thing and put the differences aside just for the one day and be a family and come along as one. But that was the sad part, and I recommend that you invite family members that do get along with each other and not have family members that have fuses that will make your day less happy.
Family leaving and friends leaving early was another problem that we encountered. Because we were late, we did have an extra hour at the reception venue, but there were things that we wanted to do afterwards that didn't get to be done, like the throwing of the bouquet didn't happen. There was a specific shoot that we wanted to do that didn't get to happen because everyone had left. Okay, so the highlights for the day were at the beginning of the day. My makeup artist, makeup by Irene, she did a wonderful job. My hairdresser, for the life of me, I cannot remember. She also was on time and was very flexible, as Irene was running a little bit late, but I was kept up to date by Irene by what she was running late, and in the end, at the end it didn't really affect us at all because we allocated such amount of time.
The venue was great. I got to, they actually allowed me to take my bike down to the venue at the Blue Water Grill. They in Applecross, where we got married, at our reception, and they let us park my bike inside the actual venue, which was really grateful on my behalf, because my bike is my pride and joy, and if anyone touched it, they die. So that was really grateful and thankful. They actually extended our time there for an extra hour due to our starting time being late. And they also gave us a free bottle of wine as well. So that was very thoughtful of them.
I'd also have to say that one of the highlights was some of the things the photographer got us to do. We had our photography done by Simone. She had us wrapped up in toilet paper, which made the day, it broke the day up. It made people laugh. It made people come out of their shell a bit more. And it certainly added an aspect to our wedding that not many people can say they've done.
We also had the photo booth, which was really awesome. We also get to dress up in costumes and open ourselves up a bit and have a bit of a freak show, which came out pretty well in the photos. So yeah, we were wrapped with that as well.
My advice to brides would be to know the material of your dress, obviously, because spills do happen, and no matter how clean you think something is, it's never as clean as you think it is. And to make sure that you know how to clean off certain things. I would also suggest that the bride has, or somebody in the bridal party has given their number to the photographer or to one of the suppliers. So if something does go wrong with the guests showing up or something like that, then you can be contacted.
Yeah. Also, I would recommend that have other family members help you with picking up certain things, e.g. the cake, as yes, it made me extremely late, or a groom extremely late for the wedding, because that's not the in thing. It's meant to be the bride being late for the wedding, not the groom.
And I would advise that your iPod connects to the sound system, because that was our issue with the music. If it wasn't for our DJ being there on time, we would have had no music.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks.
And goodbye.
Bye.